Hi my loves, how's it going? How you guys doing? Welcome if you're new, welcome back. If you've seen me before, it's time for an October's empty video, and I'm really shocked as to how many empties I have this month. I'm also super glad that I'm able to get rid of so many things from my inventory, and it's nice to see just things moving out in general. If you love empties, if you like seeing reviews and things like that, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to check me out on other social medias, everything is linked down below, and it's all at dailywithdils. Let's just dive right into the reviews. It's literally the same basket I use every single time. I have a lot of empties in here, but the reason I'm trying to rush is so that I can catch the last bit of sun that we have today before it gets dark. And the clocks are changed, so it's getting dark a lot faster. So I'm gonna try and rapid fire as much as I can from here. So the first lot of things I'm going to talk about are all of these here. So I have actually got two empty wipes this time around. One is for sensitive skin, the other one is for dry skin. The reason I have two is I think because I did a makeup decluttered video this month as well. I was decluttering my entire makeup collection. Those videos you guys will see over the next couple of months. And I also do take off makeup from the back of my hands when I'm doing makeup in general. And surprisingly, I've actually done more makeup this month than I had done the last couple of months. So I've managed to get through two packets of these. These are quite cheap to get. Obviously, if you wanted an even cheaper alternative to just like wiping down your desk or your hands when you're doing your makeup, baby wipes would probably be better. And I am thinking about moving over to that because that is so much more cheaper than always buying these. But I do keep these in hand in case I'm ever at a point where I'm so exhausted and I get to the point where I don't really feel like doing like a full makeup like removal routines, and then I'll just take wipes and wash off my face. That's why I have two empties for this month. I then have these two sheet masks. I'm holding them upside down and sideways to stop any like extra liquid from falling out. I got these from Primark because I thought these would be kind of cute to do. The pumpkin one is a moisturizing mask, the Frankenstein one is a hydrating mask. But when I use this pumpkin one, my god, it burnt my skin. So I am never gonna buy these again. I do love my Korean skincare, I'm not gonna lie. So if I do ever buy sheet masks, I will just buy stuff off of like Yes Styles because they have a lot of like different types of sheet masks there, and it's just cheaper to get those. Or if I know of any other good brands here, then I will buy them. But usually they can be like very pricey, and because this is like a one-use item, I don't typically buy these that often. I only ever really buy them as like a treat or also as a way of just like making myself like forcing no I guess forcing myself into like actually relaxing. Yeah, both of these stung. I wouldn't necessarily recommend these, especially from Primark. I'm not going to be buying these again. I would say be very careful with these. I did not use anything else beforehand. I didn't use any like masks or anything like that before. I just did my like basic skincare like face wash, and that would be it. And then I would put nothing on before I put these on. But these literally burnt my skin, so I don't recommend that. Next, I finally use up this Nature Spell for natural rosemary oil. I've had this for some time, and the reason I'm really happy to use it up is because of the way that this bottle is. It can be a little bit messy when you are doing your hair oil. Um, at least that's what I found for me. And then it just looks kind of like grimy as a result of it. And I don't like that. And I don't like that sort of feeling, that icky, sticky feeling. It drives me insane. So for my own sanity, I'm really happy that I was able to use this up. Also, it did force me into doing actual like hair oiling, which is really good for you. And I'm really glad I was able to use this up. I do recommend their products. I do think they're really good. They're also really affordable. You can also buy a load of stuff from TikTok Shop, and sometimes you can get them on like cheaper from TikTok Shop than like other retailers. I'd say keep an eye out on that if you are looking into trying hair oiling. But I'd also say just maybe check what your hair type is, because not everybody can use certain hair oils, because some might be too heavy for your hair, especially say if you've got fine hair and you want to use something like castor oil. That might not be the best combination. um and I'd also mix rosemary oil with something else. I couldn't really sit here and tell you guys I have had a massive difference because I was never consistent with a routine with a hair oil. So I couldn't really sit here and tell you guys that. I still have a lot of hair loss. There's so many, I guess, like factors that contribute towards that. So I couldn't really sit here and tell you guys it was life changing. It did make me, it did force me into doing like actual like self care. Because I did have to do that, and I did have to commit a certain amount of time to do that. So it was useful in that sense, but if it actually made a difference to me, not really. Because I just wasn't consistent enough to use this product. That's all I can really say on that. So I couldn't really tell you guys it's life changing, but if you guys just want something to like make yourself get into a routine of hair oiling, this is an option. There are also so many other options. It just depends what might work better for you. So I guess just do a little bit of research before you do go ahead and buy that. But from what I know, I think your rosemary oil should be mixed in with a different oil. Um, But yeah, I used up this Trichology Soothing Scalp Serum. I use this when my scalp gets like really, really itchy every now and again. And I think if you have like psoriasis or seborrheic dermatitis, this might be an option for you to keep on hand, just in case you ever sort of really need it. It's not something I use all the time now. There was a point in my life when I was using this all the time, but thank God I've come to a point where my scalp is doing a little bit better, that I don't need to use it all the time. So I'll use it every now and again. If I ever go more than like, I normally wash my hair every other day. If I ever go more than that, that's when I'll typically need to ever gravitate towards this. But it's nice to just keep around in my like stash whenever I need it. Since I have used one up, I do have two others in my stash. But I do feel like going forward, I can just get away with just getting one of these as a replacement if I ever need, because these are now starting to last me a lot longer than what they initially used to. So that's kind of nice to see, and I'm really glad to see that. But I do hope that my scalp can continue to get a little bit better. But this is a nice, cheap, easy product to get. This is it's a super drug product, but the actual brand name is Trichology, and this is just what it looks like. Another Trichology product is this soothing and calming scalp shampoo. This says jojoba um and microbiome friendly rosebay extracts. This is supposed to gently cleanse the hair while soothing scalp. However, I really did not feel like this product did much for my hair, considering the fact that I wash my hair normally every other day and I don't use that many products in my scalp or my hair. So I typically do in my scalp, I'll have like a scalp soothing, not serum, but there's like a tonic sort of thing that I use. Then I would just go in with like a leave-in conditioner, and that'll be pretty much it. And if I absolutely had to, I'd go in with the scalp serum that I just showed you guys, even with just using those products. And I wouldn't always oil the ends of my hair. This product did not do much to make my hair feel like it was clean, so I wouldn't necessarily go ahead and buy this one. There is another one that they have as well, but it's got the green lid. That's a lot better, but I had to stop using that because I felt like my hair got way too used to that product, because I'd been using it for well over a year. I really like that. It's also really cheap to get from Superdrug. This is just another one. I think maybe if you have like finer hair, this might work better for you, or you have less hair than I do. I mean, I already have such less hair because I've lost most of it due to like stress and everything else. But I just don't think this necessarily worked for me. And I think if you also have thicker hair, just keep in mind this product is not going to work for you. This would probably be better for somebody with finer hair. So I'm glad I was able to experiment and try this at least once, but I'm not going to be going ahead and purchasing this one again. I think that was it for hair care for now, but the next two products I used up were these two from First Aid Beauty. These are both the KP Bump Erasing Body Scrub and the Smoothing Body Lotion, and this has AHA in it. I actually really like this not collab, but this collection. I thought these were both really, really good products, and they did definitely make a difference to my KP. Love this scrub. I don't typically use one all the time, but this is a really, really good like product to use, and I really felt like my skin was so much smoother afterwards. And this lotion was also really nice. The price point of this sort of scares me a little bit, but if you don't mind spending like or splurging really on skincare, I think you guys will really like these products. They're really, really good. I did really enjoy these, but I have a really big body, so I have to go through a lot more body scrub than somebody who's half my size would. So I don't think it's worth me investing in a scrub like this, because I can find cheaper alternatives, and I think for me I'd have to use a cheaper alternatives to make it as like affordable as possible. But in terms of the lotion, this was really good, and I would love to absolutely buy this one again. Potentially I could repurchase this one, just not right now, but I think in the future, when I did have that financial stability where I could splurge, I definitely would on this product, and I would probably buy this again and again. I've used quite a few products from First Aid Beauty, and I have really enjoyed every single item that I have typically used from them. These were no exception. I really enjoyed these. If you have KP, I definitely do recommend them if you have the budget for them. These are both really nice. The lotion, I love that it was really like, it wasn't too watery, but it was more on the thinner side. But it did mean that it would very quickly absorb into the skin, and I did not have an issue with that, because there's some lotions, like I'm sure you guys may have used some, that just take forever to like absorb into the skin, and it can be really frustrating, especially if, so like you've got like a time restriction where you kind of need to get ready and go. It's maybe not the best, but really liked both these products, and I would definitely love to try more from the brand. Next, I use this massive bottle of shower gel from Redox. This is the Feel Moisturized Chamomile and Oat Scented Shower Gel. I actually do love these, but they're really like cheap and easy to just grab from like the shelves, because most places do stock these. And this was also really nice. I like the fragrance of this. It wasn't like too intense, but it was still quite like a lovely sort of scent. And I do feel like I feel like I feel really clean after using these anyway. I used to love the idea of like buying really expensive like ones, especially from like Molton Brown and Rituals, because I love both their scents. But again, right now, like it's not worth me splurging into those. Obviously, every now and again, I could use them, but it just doesn't make sense for me to do that right now. At this current stage where I am financially, it's probably for the best if I just stick to using these ones. And eventually, when I do have the money to splurge and like have the budget to buy those more like luxury items, now definitely buy those because I love the scent of these. But this is also a really good product. It's also easy to get from everywhere, and Radix is like a pretty standard brand, I suppose, when it comes to shower gels. Then there's another one. They're both like really popular and they're like sold literally everywhere. And I actually really like this, so I'd definitely be considering buying this again if I ever needed to. I got this little toucher sample of their sunscreen. I don't remember where from, but I use this up as well. Um, I probably wouldn't really buy the Tatcha sunscreen. I would love to try the moisturizers because I know they're very popular for a good reason. Like everyone loves them. They do feel like they're really hydrating and moisturizing. I would love to try that. I don't necessarily think I would go back and repurchase a sunscreen from them. Definitely want to try their moisturizers. But it was nice to be able to at least try what the product is like. So that was nice. Next up, I've used the Glow Recipe Blueberry Bounce Gentle Cleanser. I've actually gone through so many of these bottles at this point. I've been through countless over the last several years since I sort of discovered this brand, and the actual cleanser is gentle as it says in the name. The reason I even fell upon this was because I actually irritated my skin several years back, and then I needed something really gentle, and most stuff that I had at the time wasn't really that gentle, and some were labeled as gentle but they weren't really. And then I found that this was one that is actually quite a gentle one, and this was also recommended by James Welch. Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this, and since then I've always tried to keep one of these on hand. A lot of the times, especially now, I don't feel like in the morning I need anything that like extensive, so I would typically go for something really gentle like this if I need to. And sometimes I skip like a cleanser anyway, and I'll just wash my face and do the rest of like the skincare that I need to do. It's not like 100% set in stone that I have to use the most like a cleanser in the morning, but if I was to have one, I would definitely love to keep this one about in my collection. I love this. I think it's great. At this point I couldn't even tell you how many of these I've gone through because I've been through quite a few of these. It is expensive. That's the only downside that I have with this. But if I have the budget, I probably will pick up another one of these at some point. At the moment, I do have like two other cleansers, maybe one other cleanser in the backup. And I also did a yes out order, which I'll show you guys, I promise, when it arrives, because they take forever to like get shipped and then arrive wherever you are. But I did order some cleansers there, so I don't think I need to buy anything else just yet. But if I do ever do another order, this will definitely be something that I do pick up again. This is the last hair product, and I forgot to show this earlier, but this is the Shiramura hair oil, and I love this. Oh my god, it smells so good, and it makes my hair feel so nice and soft. I love it so much. I did not realize this is actually like a fairly expensive product. This is only 30 mils, but I think what they sell is either like 60 or 100, and that retails for about £65, I think, or £60, around that amount. I didn't realize this. I was using so much of this hair oil on my hair because I just loved how soft it made my hair feel, and how like just smoother and like less frizzy it made my hair feel. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Might as well use as much as I can. Then when I saw the price, I was like, okay, no, let me calm down. Okay, because as much as I love this product, I don't just want to like use so much of it up that I then have to replace it sometime soon. This is really nice. I would love to buy this again. This is literally just what the actual like, oh, how you can kind of see that the product sort of looks like. But if you are looking for a nice sort of like hair oil, I would really recommend this. It does not feel heavy on the hair at all. My hair is I don't know, I'm still like figuring out what my hair is, but my hair can't handle anything too heavy. But this feels really nice and lightweight on the hair, and I really love it. I take a couple of drops in my hand, warm it up, and then just like put it all through my hair, especially on the ends, because that's mainly where I focus the hair oil. And it feels great. I love it so much. Definitely would like consider buying this again when I get the chance to. Obviously, I don't think I need any just yet because I do have some other hair oils in my inventory that I need to use at first. But when I can repurchase, I definitely will pick up this one before I pick up anything else. The last product before I talk about all my makeup empties is this one. This is from Boots. It's the Vital Baby Hygiene Quaint Cleansing Water. Apparently this is really good if you've got like acne, and it's good to have if you're like maybe done the gym and then gone ahead and done whatever else you need to. I've been having so many breakouts lately and it's just been driving me insane. So I decided to just get this and use all the time anyway. So I got this small bottle and I also got the full size, like the massive one. And the reason I got two was this one would be easier to actually like decant the other product into this one and then use this on like a day-to-day basis. The other sprayer is insane, like it hits you really intensely and I don't like that. So that's why I have this on hand. So because I've now emptied this out, there's nothing else in here. Whatever else is in here, I cannot spritz out. I am going to start refilling this one with the other bottle and use it that way. I did enjoy it. I basically use it as a step before I use a toner, and it helps just like hydrate my face a little bit. But then it does mean that when like, I do the next lot of skincare on my face, it sits a lot nicer in my skin and it absorbs a lot better, because things absorb better on like wet skin. So yeah, I like this product. I don't think I've necessarily noticed anything like drastic when I have used this. I just love like using this before I go in with my toners and stuff like that, and any sort of other essences like that. That's why I have this, and I will probably end up buying more of these in the future. Now onto my makeup products. The first one I just want to talk about is this eyelash curler. The reason I'm calling this an empty is because this little like plastic thing on the inside that you have, that cushion, that keeps popping out of this. And that's happened so many times. I've also had this eyelash curler for quite some time now, and I have gotten several uses out of this, and I don't like it that much. This one was from Flower. Oh my god, this one was from Flower Nose. I got this as like a free gift for purchase when I did an order. I want to say in 2023, so it was a long time ago. And they were just sending so many lot like freebies out with the stuff. So yeah, I ended up with I think one or two of these, but I have used one up now. I'm glad I was able to at least try it out, but I do need to find other better alternatives. This just doesn't hit the mark for me. I'm currently using the Wednesday one from Primark, and it's okay. Like it's okay. Like it will do. Um, but yeah, I'm just glad to be using something that doesn't like have the cushion plop out every like 2 seconds. I use up this setting spray. So this is from Revolution. This is the Superfix Super Hold Misting Spray. It's got an ultra matte finish with aloe and vitamin D. I don't really think it was that fantastic like people made it out to be. I think it was pretty decent, but I did not feel or I did not notice a massive difference using this product. I think I have used other setting sprays that have lasted a lot longer than this one has, so I wouldn't personally go ahead and repurchase this one again. I do think it's a good setting spray. It is fine, and I love that it's got a really fine mist to it, and I much appreciate that. Like I would always prefer a setting spray to have a very fine mist. It just feels nicer, and it's easier to like dry down and stuff like that as well. This it was just okay. I don't think it made that big of a difference as people kept making it out to be. So I don't really think I'd ever go back and repurchase this one again. I bought a couple from Studio London now, so I'm gonna try those ones out instead. I always have the ones from Huda Beauty, so I'm gonna use those ones up first, and then I'll see if there's anything else I can maybe buy. I think I need to like hurry up now because the sun is literally setting and it's not helping and I don't have my lights. Next, I use this iconic London primer. This is a Velvet Smooth Pore Refining Primer. This one, it was actually quite good. I used to use it mainly over like in this sort of section on my cheeks and my nose, and it was really nice. It would actually give me like a nice blurring effect. And I did think it sat well underneath my makeup. However, it's expired because I actually had the product in 2023, I think, and I only started using it in this sort of year. I'm pretty sure this is a 2023 buy. I can't really remember. If it wasn't, then it's definitely a 2024 buy, but like right at the start of the year. So because I'd taken so long to actually start using this product up, it did expire unfortunately, and that is a common theme amongst a lot of my makeup products. Unfortunately, I did use over half of this product, but then I've realized it decided to break me out a lot, especially on like on my cheeks, and I used it a couple times and then I had that realization. I did then also like try to stop and start using a whole bunch of different products to figure out what it was. And unfortunately, this was the actual like product that was causing me to break out so much. So I had to just discard the rest, and I'm going to be calling this an empty. The reason I'm calling this an empty is because I did use over half of it, and I feel like I can call this an empty because of that. But I'm just glad I was able to, I have this moved out now. And next is this mascara from Iconic London. This is a triple depth mascara. This is my by far my favorite mascara because of the wand. I feel like this wand works really well on my lashes, and you can't really see it that well, but it's literally like I don't know. I don't know if that's any better, but it's a pretty good mascara. I really do like this. It's quite an expensive mascara. The only good like alternative I found at drugstore is the Soap and Glory one, and I also really like that one because that was less than half the price, and that one's also really good. I also really like the Swede mascara. That worked really well for my lashes because my lashes are really weird. They grow downwards like this, and then it's really difficult to give them volume, and not a lot of mascaras unfortunately work for me, but this one's a really good one. I've gone through, I think this is my third one of these, and it's just because of the price I don't buy these all the time. But I have a couple already in my inventory. I don't need to buy any more. I'm currently using one, and I've got two more in my backups. That's more than like that's plenty of mascaras. I don't need any more than that. And I'm trying to like really curate my collection as well. But yeah, I did enjoy this. I would buy this again, and I do recommend this product as well. Next, I have used up a lip liner, and I'm so glad. This is literally all that's left, and it's impossible to sharpen the rest. It's just not going to work. But I finally like use up one of my oldest lip liners. This is like it's so tiny at this point, but I'm just really glad. I really love this. This one was from Makeup Revolution. It was a shade TGIF, and it was a really nice like deep brown, which had like a reddish sort of undertone to it. But it was so beautiful. I use this up the most in October because I did so many like autumnal looks, and even if the looks weren't that autumnal, I still gravitated towards like a dark brown lipstick, and I knew that I was going to end up using this during October because of the type of makeup that I tend to do around October time. Because it ends up being a lot more like autumnal, and like that's when all the browns and the mustards sort of come out for me. I'm so glad I was able to use this up. I'm now trying to use up another lip liner. We will see if I can use it up or not. But I'm now just going to push this into the thing so I don't lose that. But at least I've used up another lip liner, and this was literally one of my oldest ones in my collection. So it's nice to be able to use some of that stuff up and out. Typically, I don't use more than like 5, 6 lip liners a year, but that's because I don't do my makeup that often. Whereas if I did do it, just like a couple days a week, I'd be flying through more lip liners. But that being said, I'm still so happy I was able to use one up. I use up a pair of lashes. These are the Lash Dupe LD26. This is literally just what they look like. I've used these quite a few times, and they are great, they're lovely, but I've used these enough now. I've used it like 3 or 4 times where it's to the point I can't really reuse these anymore, and the glue's kind of like stuck onto lashes. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could clean the whole thing and I could go ahead and use it, but these are like really big like lashes, and they're not easy to wear, and they're not that comfortable just because of the way that they are. That's what they look like. I've used these from my Beetlejuice look. I've used these the last couple of times and I've done a makeup look as well. So yeah, I think I've gotten my fair use out of these lashes, and I'm glad I'm able to use them up now. I have, excuse me, I have so many eyelashes, and I'm trying to just go through some of them and use them up. I don't need to buy any more because I have so much, but it would be nice to just have a little bit less than what I currently own. I know I could just get rid of them, I could sell them, I could pass them on. I don't really know many people in my personal life that actually wear lashes, and if they do wear lashes, they wear very specific ones. So I don't want to give something to somebody who's not necessarily going to use that, or they necessarily like that style. I do like lashes. I do like trying that. I just wish I could actually do lashes a little bit better than what I currently can, which is the only downside to the makeup. But I actually did like these. The style was quite fun, but I've gotten my use out of these, and I'm happy that I can call these an empty. Next, oh, I used up a powder. So this is from Ciatic London. Yeah, this is the Extraordinary translucent powder. I like this powder on my under eyes because it was very finely milled. The only thing I didn't like about this was actually using it on my face because I felt like it didn't actually do anything for the rest of my face. Like it didn't help me keep my oils at bay. Whereas I've used other powders that would have a much bigger and better hold than these. But this one worked better on my under eyes because it didn't make them look grey. Unfortunately, I think Seattle London has now gone bust. Bust. I think either they declared bankruptcy or something's happened. There was an issue with the finances. I know that a lot of people on TikTok was sharing the fact that they did not get paid by the brand, and Seattle London also owns Lottie London, so there was an issue with like people not being paid for the work that they done for the brand, and I think they declared bankruptcy or they've dissolved. I'm not really sure, but I think the brand's no longer going to be releasing any products. I think anything that they had, whatever like other sellers had, I think once it sells out, like that is it. I'm really sad though because this was a decent product. Also, the Lottie London skin tint, I really like. I really like that. So it's a shame that that one also is not going to be available anymore. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people who have businesses that don't necessarily make the best decisions for said businesses. And yeah, I guess there's that. The last product is probably the most unexpected one that I had, but this is my Kaleidos eyeliner. This was the shade, oh my god, um, Night Creation. If I can get some product out, and that's just what it looks like. It was a really lovely, like purple. This was so nice, but the problem I had with these liners is they break very easily. So I ended up losing some product because it kept breaking on me. But then I did also get like a lot of use out of this to an extent. But I feel like when it came to this eyeliner, I probably lost a good chunk because the product kept breaking, which is really, really sad. These eyeliners are really nice. I love this sort of color here. I think that's so lovely. And I really do love the formula for Kaleidos in general. I do think they have some really fun makeup. The formulas are really good as well. And it's just a good like experimental one, like really colorful sort of brand. Obviously, even they're like neutrally sort of products, even they're quite fun because they're not like really like um like even eyeshadows, like the ones that are like more neutral, the shimmers are like very shimmery and they look lovely. It's a shame that this finished so quickly for me, but unfortunately it was just the way it was going to be. I'm not going to repurchase anything just yet because I have so many other liners to get through, but eventually when I can I will definitely pick up more of these. I think they had like 5 or 6 and I have all of them, but since this used up, when I next do a purchase on Kaleidos, because I think there'll be some other things that I repurchase as well from the brand at some point, I will definitely pick up this one again. Love this so much. It looks so nice. And it really just pops. Like it really pops. It did take me some while to build it up to this extent, especially if I was to have other makeup on underneath. Sometimes it didn't show up as well, but it would take me time to like build it up and then it would be as vibrant as this. So just kind of keep that in mind. But if you are just going to pop this into your waterline, it's very easy and it is as gorgeous as it looks on the hair. That is literally everything for October empties. I hope you guys enjoyed those like reviews. It is time for me to go because the lights, like, it's sun's gone and there's no more lighting and camera quality is rubbish. But thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching this. It's going to be so much harder to film now with the winter being here, so I'm trying to be really strategic with filming when I can. But anyway, that is everything for today. Thank you so much for stopping by and I'll catch you next week with another video. Bye.